Hey Cactus crew, how you guys going? Happy Friday. Well, we'll see how happy we are, but Katie's happy. She's full steam ahead, even though she's in a lawsuit. She's got a lot to say. Still trying to control everyone, still saying that we are scrambling, that we are threatened by her, that we're intimidated, that we care about what she has to say. The most immature, insecure woman on YouTube. And yeah, when this is, we are going to watch another 2 Instagram lives. Yes. We have to quickly get through the first one because I'm excited for the second one. Katie's sloshed. And it's been so long since we've seen sloshed Katie. And when I mean sloshed, I mean hitting the terps, getting drunk, loose as a goose. Probably looser than a goose, though, from what we've seen. Yeah, I haven't really watched it. I skipped through it a bit, but yeah, just got the gist that trigger warning. She will be talking about polygamy and all that entails, cults and all that, and being an advocate for survivors. And then I'll be most likely talking about her addiction. Replay crew, make sure you check out the timestamps in the description box. There'll also be a bunch of links down there which counteract that prove Katie wrong or show that we've been here before, because this is the carousel from hell. Around and around and around we go. We are dealing with someone who never grows. So if she doesn't grow, she doesn't learn, she doesn't mature, she's still stuck in this teenage mentality, like we care, having little tanties on Instagram when she's in one of the biggest lawsuits of her career. Get your priorities right, Polson. Get your yeah, well, I couldn't say it twice that time, but usually say it twice for you because you need it. Maybe I say it 4 times. Yeah. After the live, I'll pin all the links in the comments. And yeah, make sure you check out my shorts tab on my channel because I release CB shorts every day, except this week I've kind of dropped the ball. Look, this week was my final week of juggling 2 jobs. So I've just finished my summer job at the comedy festival, and now I feel a little bit lighter, but I'm exhausted because there's a heat wave. We're still in a heat wave. I'm going into my 4th week in 40 degrees. I'm a winter person. This is not fair. But yes, it's fair for you. Okay, where are we? Okay. Everything is my own opinion, and we're just going to jump straight in because this is the Katie Joy Show. Oh man, I'm feeling flat. I hope my vocals aren't flat the whole time, like monotone. We don't need 2 monotone people. We need to know who Bill is and who Katie is. Hey, Cactus crew. How you guys going? Cactus, high five. Down the line. Okay. I think we should just jump into it. Like I said, I want to get through this first one, which is 11 minutes, and then we will take on the novel. No, the next one's like 40 minutes or something ridiculous. So if I don't finish it, obviously there'll be a part 2. There's always different parts because I can't handle this. It drains me. Okay, but let's just bring you in, Polson. Let's bring you in. Oh, are we ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Oh, she's feeling herself. She's really feeling herself. That's what she gets on here to talk. Like if she had a friend, a real friend, not like someone who she's just forced herself upon, like, you are now my best friend. You have become the number 1, even though I don't have any. And she doesn't have a husband that she can confide in because he doesn't care. And so we have to cop it. Okay, so we're coming in, Polson. Let me put captions on. Oh. Why is it silent?
Hey, friends. I'm all kinds of like, I'm kind of I'm shiny. I'm shiny.
Sorry, I'm going to start off in slow motion because what? This brush, do you reckon she's cleaned it? Do you reckon she cleans it daily because she has an infection? No. Just let me have my little, and then.
I'm all kinds of like, I'm kind of, I'm shiny. I'm shiny. Okay.
Okay, I'll add that to Halloween for 2024. Why did she have to wipe her nose with it? Why did she have to wipe her nose with the brush? That was the second wipe that she did. And like now it's got snot on it, which is bacteria, which when you powder your face again, will get into that staph. Oh, okay. I got to get off the subject. I could be on the staph subject forever.
I'm coming on here very quickly because I had to give you an update. And this is about a couple of weeks ago, or actually earlier this week. I shared what I've been going through on YouTube. And I didn't share it because I wanted you to feel bad for me. I shared it to speak up for someone that is being targeted by a group of people, and shared it because this is what's happened to me and now what's happening to her. And there's ongoing cases in Kansas related to multiple people. So there's an upcoming hearing in about 11 days where Brittany Hansen, who goes by Beta on YouTube, and Aaron Costello, who goes by EKC People Suck, will have to either travel to Kansas for this restraining order. And this woman, Charla, has already obtained and received a restraining order from, I'm going to turn off comments because it's being spammed. This woman, Charla, has already received a permanent restraining order for Steve McRae, who that happened in January. The temporary restraining order went into effect in August, I believe, and the permanent one went into effect in January. And there's also a push, I guess, now because he has not been complying with this restraining order for another hearing to have him held in contempt and have the restraining order upgraded from a year-long to a lifetime. And naturally, because this group of people has been exposed and their tactics have been exposed and the way that they move along on the platforms has been exposed, they're getting kind of desperate. And I'm just going to let you guys know about some tactics that they're using just to give you sort of a heads up to understand how cyberbullying works and to understand the kind of fear that can happen to creators. Now, I want to be very clear.
Katie, we're not scrambling. We're not worried about whatever you're doing, but obviously you are. You're threatened. You're insecure that you have to come on live because you think you're that important. You think we care. This is your business, and this is how you approach it. These are your business practices that you were talking about the other day, that no one has good ethics like you. Okay. God, you've been doing this for how long? Same thing, different year.
I'm not afraid of this threat. I'm not afraid of this person. But if you're not someone that is a public figure, you might find yourself on the receiving end of a threat like this and feel intimidated or scared. And this group has a history of what's called spoofing emails, creating fake email accounts. And they've had different people throughout the years that do this. And I don't want to try to pinpoint who exactly is doing this because I could be right or I could be wrong. Like throw a dart. It could be any one of them. But it's coming from their side because it's the same MO every time. There was a woman a few years ago that did a bunch of spoofing emails on me, and I don't want to use her name, but y'all know about the whole FBI, the swatting, all of those threats I received during the Tati Westbrook lawsuit. That woman inserted herself.
I've linked the live down below. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it in the timestamp, where she admits to not being swatted. She didn't know what swatting was, and then people told her. So it's a whole, she was never swatted. Can you even imagine? Katie wouldn't, can you imagine? I don't want to imagine, but maybe that would be her wake-up call to reality.
The lawsuit, became friends with all of these people, and now someone new in this group is trying to mimic that woman and is using the same tactics. But they're not, she's not doing it the same. She's not as, that woman knew how to actually spoof emails. This person just keeps creating Gmail accounts. They're not using the same server. We couldn't even trace those emails that the one woman was using because she was using like an actual spoofing website. This woman is literally just creating new Gmail accounts. And every time I get a new email, I'm blocking them from my server. So what they're doing now is they're trying to copycat what that woman did to me a couple years ago. And they're sending threats in other people's names to other creators. So she's not just doing it to me. She's doing it to Charlotte. They're also doing it. This person's also doing it to people within their own group. So she's probably sending threats to other creators within the group to make it appear as though it's coming from the outside. That's exactly how the woman did it before. So she's basically taking everything she saw that happened before and copycatting it. So what's happening is some creators might actually be getting threats, and they believe that there might be coming from me. They might make an email in my name. That's what this other woman did. And I didn't send any of the emails. I didn't send any of the threats. And now this person is using an AI software to attempt to make audio of me and of Steve. And yesterday, this person sent audio clips of in AI. It was not Steve saying this. It wasn't his voice. It was a complete computer generated thing, but it was trying to have it set up like Steve was directing these people to do things. Like, you go make this and send this to Katie. It was very clear it wasn't Steve. I've listened to the guy's voice a million times over the years. And now this same person is sending me a threat saying that I need to pay them $10,000, which is hilarious, in a Cash App, or I'm going to send this recorded clip to Clark Swanson. Do you guys know who Clark Swanson is? This is so insane, ridiculous.
Isn't it just ridiculous? I wonder if one of these people is called Sarah or Andy, or what were the other ones? Because you move as a troll, like fleet. You're not just one person, you're multiple accounts. You are Angela Wesselman, in my opinion, the original Catfish. I mean, God, she had the exact same life, raising her disabled children, and wanted to escape and didn't have friends, so she created friends. And she didn't have family, so she created family, all online. And that's what you do, Katie. Yeah, but you just create your followers. Oh, look at you getting excited over your old mate Clark Swanson, hey? Bosom buddy. God, you were so... I should link that down below when you were boasting about all the stuff that he was feeding you. Look at your face. Have you got your lips done? You have. The A team is on the bottom lip. What are you doing? This should not be your priority. This should be your priority. Oh my God, you look ridiculous. Fuck.
By the way, because Clark Swanson is Tati Westbrook's old business partner. And if you follow anything along with this situation, is I settled with Tati Westbrook. And when I settled, I agreed to help her with her case against her business partner, Clark Swanson, which included being a potential witness in a trial. Now, I'm not going to actually have to sit as a witness in her case because I already gave a deposition, and I've met with both Tati's attorneys and Clark Swanson's attorneys. And I did like a days-long deposition where I answered from both sides.
And that's why you settled, because all Tati wanted was you to give up your source, and that was Clark Swanson. Remember when Emily put the pieces together and then you're like, you should never assume that. You should never assume that, Emily. But like what you had posted matched exactly what he was saying in his lawsuit. And I love how you're just tiptoeing around the subject. Like, you did good and you were doing this for Tati. You were helping her. No. You are part of the whole thing. Like, you didn't do any good. She is on a next level.
As the deposition was received so well, that can be used for testimony in the event that they actually go to trial. But I would hope, just for the sake of all of them, that they're able to settle and find resolution to this very awful conflict that they're in. And this person is trying to act like there's still some sort of like, I've got some secrets about Clark Swanson and that I lied to Tati, which I didn't lie. So they created this ridiculous AI, and I'm going to see if you guys can hear this. But if they're going to play this for Clark, if I don't give them $10,000.
Swanson didn't tell me anything. I just told Tati what she wanted to hear. She's so dumb as insults. They believed me that Swanson was behind the defamation and not me. Swanson didn't tell me anything. I just told Tati what she wanted to hear. She's so dumb as insults. They believed me.
Imagine playing this. Like, why give it the time of day? You know, obviously it's people messing with you, but you giving it airtime, why? You just enjoy the head funk.
That Swanson was behind the defamation and not me. Swanson did.
Can you guys hear that? Did you hear that? What they said? Swanson is so dumb. I lied. I never spoke to Swanson. Did you hear that? Can you all like heart this if you heard that? Click some hearts. See, let me know you heard that. Okay, you heard that. So this will prove to you how much this person doesn't know about the case, because as a part of that case, they had discovery, obviously, and I had to hand over evidence. And I shared you in our settlement discussion, I told you all that Tati and I went through mediation and we revealed information that I had received and information that they had received. And through discovery, it's not a question that Clark Swanson and I spoke. And it's also not a question from the evidence that was provided in the case. So this is actually just a false.
Yeah, it's not a question anymore because you answered it. What the fuck what's going on here? You are trying to beat around the bush. Just admit your wrongs. Admit your part in this whole thing. You're not working for Tati. You're not on Team Saltsy. They're not, yeah, we love Katie. No.
False statement. It's just a false statement. But it's like I'm somehow supposed to be scared of that. I'm not scared of it because it's factually inaccurate, completely inaccurate. So this is what this person's doing. They're trying to threaten me to pay the money, which I'm not going to pay. And I'm going to pay for them because they're going to court, apparently, with Charla. And I'm just putting this out there because they said if I didn't do this in 10 minutes, they're going to tell this to Clark Swanson. So I hope you're listening, Clark Swanson. He's not listening. Like, why do they think that a case related to Tati and Clark is even relevant here? It's so stupid. It's so dumb. That was 4 years ago, y'all. 4 years ago. I already gave my deposition. I spoke under oath. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to show you how they do what they do. And for those of you that are wondering, can I reveal this information? The answer is yes. I'm allowed to share any details about what happened with Tati in order to defend myself against claims like this. There is nothing.
I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to talk about her or her husband or her business ever again. That was one of the stipulations in the settlement. I'm pretty sure, because I remember it was like, oh, now you can't talk about Tati. Now you can't talk about KRISTYN.
More than both of us, according to our, when we all sat down in agreements to make sure that these false narratives go around like there's some sort of beef between us. There's no beef.
You created a whole false narrative and took her down on word of her business partner because you had a hate boner for Tati. That's how much you vet your sources. Swanson was shopping around trying to find the most, the smallest pea, the smallest brain that would just accept everything he says. And that was you, because you love it. Free information? Sure, you can use me and my mouth on my platform.
It's all resolved. Mediation does wonders. Oh God, it's so like, what do you call it? I'm so shiny right now. I'm shiny. Okay, anyways, sorry for being so shiny. Yeah, there's nothing. And a part of our.
Her cheeks are infected again. Look, it's that triangle. Has she had recent, because this happened last time, she went and got, Botox is in the face and fillers in, or does filler go somewhere else as well? Or does filler in the bottom lip? Why didn't you put some more in the top lip? Put some more in those, in your soup strainer. I don't think any other country calls it that. The little slide there, your soup strainer. I think it's this Aussie slang. I don't know. I think it is. Katie, you powdering your face right over the top. I'm worried about your makeup brushes. I'm worried about everything. Nothing's being sanitized. Oh, filler could even be on the chin. Yeah, with her chin, I think that she is inflamed, like from the infection. And I noticed, like, I think it was, I can't remember which live it was, but someone said, what's that shadow on her chin? I thought it was just a shadow, but it does look like the infection's down here as well. She does always wipe her bottom lip, so it's definitely on there. I can't believe she went and got her lips done at a clinic, because that's like the health department needs to be called. She has probably not even reported that she's got MRSA staph infection that's lasted for 4 years. I looked up on the Minnesota Health Department thing, and they say you should like report it in case there's like a community outbreak and they can trace it and track it. But yeah, where's she been? Just to Botox and back. But she could just be administering it herself, and that's why it's all jacked up in the like lumpy bit. Because is this like, if you had a staph infection, would this really be your priority, getting your lips done? Or are you trying to balance it out? Lips on the eyes, lips in the lips?
Our agreement is if stuff like this comes up, we can defend ourselves. And I'm going to defend Tati here and say there's nothing going on here. And if this person thinks that they've got a gotcha, they're idiots, which just proves to me that the people that are doing this are not that smart. So long story short, that's what's going on. And there's going to be like an onslaught of, they've already come out and tried to play the victim. They're already saying that I doxed Katie, and I didn't dox her at all. Her name was on her Facebook. It was on the GoFundMe. Her Facebook page, which was down the rabbit hole at bedtime, had photos of her and her family. I didn't dox her family. How do I dox her family? Did I link to that page? No. Did I show photos of her kids? No. Did I share their names? I don't even know their names. I don't even know her husband's name. Like she fabricated and lied. And it was just a way for her to deflect from the truth. And I want to be super clear. I never told her to shut down her channel. All I said was, please stop talking about me in a negative way. And I wish she would have showed you the whole.
Oh my God. She's not shutting down the channel just because like you said or you did or didn't say for her to shut it. Like no one listens to you, Katie. You're not dictating anyone. People are doing it for their family, to protect their family. I'm sure she'll come back once you've fallen to your knees in the 7M case, which you should be prioritizing. That's one of the biggest lawsuits your career has ever been involved in. This is not, I mean, you're way past jurisdiction. It's the furthest you've ever got. And you, like, the stakes are high. Why are you bothering with this? You're the one in an active lawsuit. The eyes are on you. We aren't in an active lawsuit. Put 2 and 2 together. I don't think you know what doxing is. I don't think you know what gaslighting is. I don't think you know what a narcissist is. I don't think you know who you are. This is like you are 4 years away from being 50. This is the example you set for your son? Are you even aware that you are a mother, that your son is learning from your behavior? Are you even aware that you are going to be 50 in 4 years and you are acting like a teenager, trying to get that one up to intimidate other creators because you're threatened, because you're so insecure, because you haven't given yourself the time of day, because you've just sat in your drinking chair all day, every day for the, well over 2 decades of your adult life? Watched your life just pass on by. Everyone's out there living, accomplishing things, having children, creating a family, building a home, getting involved in the community, living outside of their house. You live in a delusion. You live your life with labels. Today I'm a journalist, today I'm an advocate, but you wouldn't know the hard work and the qualifications you need to go and do that. Nothing about you is ethical. Nothing about you is business. The presentation, your business principles. What's this? This is on your business site. Does this make you look like a good advocate, a cult expert? If you can't even handle people stirring the pot. That's what makes it so easy. People have told you this. By responding, you are acknowledging them. You're giving them more power. But you've got no power. You share everything, even willy-nilly. Threats that aren't even threats. Because it's the biggest thing happening for you right now. But it's not. Get offline. Go read your 7M documents. Get it in your head that you're not a journalist. Get it in your head that in that courtroom, you're the only one that doesn't have a professional career. No qualifications. You're the only one who's all talk. Do you think that you can sell? You can't bullshit your way through this. They're going to take one look at you and see that you have neglected your health. You've neglected yourself. Are you going to turn up drunk to the court? Are you going to be a bit like scattered? You're going to be shaky? Your pupils going to be huge? Are you going to have eyebrows that are mountains or flatlined like today? It's crazy, Katie. You don't look good doing this. We're tuning in for the car crash. I can't believe it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Like the carousel from hell. This is 2024. I feel like we're still in 2020. Because you don't learn. You don't grow. So it just goes round and round and round. You got no self-awareness. You don't know what you share. And you don't know that you're oversharing. And we don't see it like you do because our minds aren't riddled with addiction. So sorry, Paulson. Sit down. Oh, no, you're already sitting down. Maybe Neil?
Whole email, because the whole email was really kind to her. It wasn't like me threatening her in any capacity. And it was also encouraging her to get back to what she was good at. But she made the decision that she was going to shut down her channel. And she didn't have to. She could have just gone back to making the content she wanted. I just didn't want her to keep spreading misinformation about me. So I didn't dox her. And I didn't say her name with malicious intent. She uses her name Katie on her channel. It's just very strange. It's like they always have to deflect. And then the same day that all of this was happening, I get an email from another creator with a platform of 120,000 that's going to try to make me look like the perpetrator in this, and Katie and Renelle as the victims. And you can't lie with the facts. You can't lie about the truth of the situation, that Renelle is not a victim in this situation. Steve is not a victim in this situation. They're not victims. They're actually the ones that have been harassing Charla and me.
And me. You don't even know the full story of Charla. She's like selling you one side of the happy story. She's trying to sell herself to you. Not, how it really was. She was ready to throw you under the bus. I love it how she gets to choose who the victim is. And no one else is the victim but the people that she says are the victim, including herself. And let's smile. And here is part 2, and brace yourselves because, it came in too fast. Katie, what are you doing? Sloshed off your face. Oh my God. Let's just get a retake. Oh my God. I shouldn't be laughing, but like, I'm so grateful that when I went through my meth addiction and stuff, I didn't have YouTube. Like, she literally doesn't see what we see. Like, addiction doesn't let her see the damage she's done. It doesn't let her see her face is all messed up with infection. It doesn't let her see that she doesn't look right. In her mind, she's seeing herself as perfect, never looked better. She's hot. Look at her, man. This long hair is not for you. Unless you go and audition for The Ring and then cut it. Come on, let's just go back to Karen. Okay. This is too much. This is too much. Okay. I want to do slow motion, but I won't for you guys, okay? I won't.
It's very late. This is like what I look like after like putting my son to bed. My makeup is worn off. And I need to talk. This is going to be one of those, like, if you want to throw some support my way, get a badge, buy a badge, send some love, because this is going to be a journey. A journey.
Oh, are we ready for this journey? My mouth is open. Like I just, I think I'm a bit thrown because I'm used to the comfort of the drinking chair being there. So I know, you know, but this is in her room. Like, have you just been in there for this whole time since your hair was short? My God, Katie, this is scary. Okay, but I'm ready.
My eyebrows are like melting off my face. It's going to be a journey tonight. So first off, I hope you guys saw my post about KRISTYN, because KRISTYN Decker is honestly the most amazing woman I've ever met. And I haven't gotten to meet her personally because I live in Minnesota and she lives in Utah. And I have a child that has disabilities and I don't get to travel. But this job is so amazing because I can do what I love and I can also still take care of my child, and my husband can take care of us. And it's been a great experience for all of us. This job has given us so much flexibility, and the support I get from followers has been tremendous. And recently I shared with you about a group of people that are harassing this woman named Charla. And when I did this, I was accused of attacking other creators and doing this to hurt people and doing this to make myself the victim. And that's not why I was doing it. I actually spoke up because these people created a GoFundMe with my name and my image and said that I was taking them to court. And then they claimed that I was like this dangerous human being and that I was hurting people and that I was stalking them. And I was like, this is fucked up. You're literally raising thousands of dollars. And
I looked away, but did she show the screenshot?
You're using my name and my likeness. Don't worry.
She showed it on her Instagram. We might go, if we have time, I'll go there afterwards. But, or should we go there now? She's talking about when, what is that charity called that Katie was raising money for on her Instagram, holding hands or something with hands, but probably not in that order. Anyway, that charity reached out to one of the creators or something, or down the rabbit hole, to see if like Katie was, maybe we have to go look at the post because my brain's like, I can't pull this up for you right now when this is in front of me. God, Katie.
Ada or Katie or Steve is sending the trolls in right now. So they're sending in all the weirdos that are going to say they love me. Just ignore them. So it's been a really, really, really tough week because, to be honest, how do I stop these idiots from joining my chat? Does anyone know?
Oh, I came up to say something, and Katie, like, why couldn't you just take a minute to like reapply your makeup, get presentable? You forget that this is your business page. You forget that this is your business page. You're absolutely drunk as. Why are you drinking when you've got this? I've read, I'll share this link below, but I've been reading about how alcoholics are prone to staph infections because their wounds don't heal because their immune system is so low and they continue to drink. And there's like studies that have found like alcohol feeds like staph infections, makes them grow more. Like it's definitely not helping in the healing process. It's like, so when Katie was on the antibiotics, she was obviously still drinking. Nothing's going to heal. Like, And because they're just so unaware and they lack hygiene. And we know that with Katie. She just... I wish that we had something better to look at, you know, because now I feel sorry for you and I don't want to feel sorry for you. But and she's like, these idiots, just let them be. Tell your story. Get on with the Katie Joy show. Do whatever. Let your mods take care of the people in chat.
So anyways, I made this video and last week I said, Katie Parker, I know who you are. And it was really because I said, Katie Parker, yeah, please report those comments. But if I turn off comments, then you guys can't talk. Okay, anyways, just ignore them. I've been like gaslit so badly for months, for years, that it's like they all of their content is about me, right? It's all they do is talk about me. And I'm not trying to like start a fight with these people. But I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, Katie Parker is on Facebook and she's in all these anti-KJ video channel groups. And she doesn't hide the fact on Facebook that she's Katie Parker. She's in all of these groups like Blocked by Katie Joy. She just started a true crime page called Down the Rabbit Hole where she has.
Are you on Facebook? Are you on Facebook right now, Katie? No, you're on a different platform. You also shared her name with intent to cause harm. It's why you no longer call her Down the Rabbit Hole. You refer to her by her name because you want to humiliate her. You want to cause harm. You want to make her panic. You don't feel those kind of emotions. All you feel is hate, 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 hate. Look at you, thinking that we care, that we're coming to you. Oh, praise you, Katie Joy. You are the truest amongst us. You are the most honest. You've done no wrong. I mean, it's not like any of the videos are saying anything great about you. We just sit there and just say, what? Katie, we hate you. Katie, we hate you over and over and over again. The truth hurts sometimes. And it's people to shove it in your face for you to see it. Like I've read most of your old articles. Oh my God. Dear Mummy Dearest. I had to stop reading them because they were so heartbreaking. Sometimes I couldn't even read the sentence. I'd leave it out because I did not want your son to ever come across that and hear that you had written that about him. And you know what? Yeah, I'll link that playlist down below. You are evil. Doxing is the only threat you've got. Where are your big girl shoes? Where are your grown-up shoes? Where is your license? Have a look at it. Does it say in 4 years you'll be 50? Time to grow up, Katie Polson? I think it does.
Her real profile connected to it called Katie Parker. And then she makes a video and says, I doxed her. Meanwhile, I just found out that she was using her Facebook group to try to get people to contact Holding Out Help. So I think you guys remember that back in December, I shared that Holding Out Help was trying to raise money. They had a goal of $50,000 and they had a donor that was willing to match up to $50,000. So like they would match it so that they would have $100,000 for the end of the year. And so what I did was I simply shared that post and I said, listen, if you could help Holding Out Help, they've got a donor that will match. And this money will help them hire a therapist to like for counseling for victims of polygamy. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. I'm going to help you. I want you to have the money for counselors for polygamy. So I simply posted it and I literally tagged them on a nonprofit tag on Instagram. At no place did I say I work for them because I don't partner with them. I'm not a volunteer there. I'm just simply a person that shared their fundraiser.
Are you a person or are you a business without a crystal ball, LLC? You could never get, like, that's why you need a personal thing. Is this your business, Katie, or are you just a person? You're not even just a person. You're a human being.
They were asking for donors, and somehow that got turned into I'm working with them. And so the day that I posted it, Tanya Toole, who works for Holding Out Help, contacted me and said, I'm getting all these emails from someone demanding to know if you sent me money. And I want to make sure it's okay with you if I tell them that you've donated money. And then I said, yeah, that's fine. She's like, usually we don't release donor information. We would keep that private, but you know, you're a public figure. So I thought maybe she understands like the hate that goes on when you're working in anti-polygamy, because it's like you're working against cults. So I said, sure, go ahead, please, feel free, release that information. Someone literally said my hairline. Do you understand how much hair I have? And just because I have a large forehead doesn't mean I don't have a lot of hair.
You don't have a lot of hair. You are using a regrowth shampoo. Makes your hair feel thicker than what it is. We can tell just by looking at it. Where has your widow's peak gone, by the way? Oh, I think it's gone further back. There's only one side of the peak, and then it just drops down. Maybe you should have parted your hair before you got on live. Maybe you should get a fringe. Maybe you shouldn't listen when people talk shit, like give you shit about your billboard, even though your husband likes to tell the world that all these women that spoke out against you, they've got a billboard head. Not you. No, not you. Because he's emasculated. He can never tell you the truth.
I'm not balding. I've got tons of hair. And if you're coming on here to talk shit about my hair, go lick grass. Anyways, people contacted Holding Out Help and they were like harassing her about it. Well, tonight I was just sent a screenshot. Harassing her about it. Go lick grass. Anyways.
Okay, I'm so grateful for captions because that sounded like something else when she said go lick grass. You know, take the GR out of it. That's what it sounded like.
People contacted Holding Out Help and they were like harassing her about it. Well, tonight I was just sent a screenshot of a comment from Katie Parker, aka Down the Rabbit Hole, literally telling people to help her stop this advocacy group from working with me. And she wanted examples of what she could share with this advocacy group on how they could stop working with me. And they wanted.
Okay, let's just check if you are lying or not. Where is that bullshit meter? Bullshit meter, can we have an answer? Oh, okay. They said here is the screenshot she's talking about. And since she only posted it hours before this, it should be fresh in her mind. So this is what she's talking about. Down the rabbit hole post in a Facebook group, friends. An advocacy group has reached out to me asking for proof that Katie Joy Paulson is inappropriate for them to work with. I would love any advice and links about what data I should provide them with. I am specifically looking for the letters written several years ago from advocacy groups asking Katie to please stop what she has been doing in the world of advocacy. And I made a video where I read this out and I've linked them below. They're in 3 shorts, but the full video is also linked. And I read the letter that the advocacy groups that work with survivors from polygamy wrote to Katie saying, you have damaged years of work to build trust. Because the best example of Katie's advocacy is September 2023. I'll link it down below. It's when she came back for the Ruby Frank stuff and then she got right into the polygamy. Someone's sharing a story with her, then she exaggerates it into the Katie Joy Show story because that's what she loves, stealing other people's stories. They would also like specific information about what Katie Joy did with the Shiny Happy People, with the Shiny Happy People documentary. The producers Googled Katie like any great production company would, which all those media outlets that just take Katie's word for it never Googled her. And yeah, Katie didn't pass the background check because even though she'd done 600 videos on the Duggars or whatever, none of them were substantial. It was gossip and ridicule and like not providing help and, you know, just being like overlooking a lot of the dynamics and that constant rehashing of the Josh stuff, stuck on the details that traumatize the Duggar women and no insight into that at all. And because I didn't pick her, she went off. If you have any screenshots or anything you think would be helpful, please send to me. Now that didn't sound really how Katie explained it. Right, Katie? You were like
harassing her about it.
Katie reached out to that. Everyone's called Katie. Is this all in your head, Katie? These people don't exist and it's just you? It's like when John Malkovich goes into John Malkovich and everything is Malkovich. Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorite movies.
About it. Well, tonight I was just sent a screenshot of a comment from Katie Parker, aka Down the Rabbit Hole, literally telling people to help her stop this advocacy group from working with me. And she wanted examples of what she could share with this advocacy group on how they could stop working with me. And they wanted proof. And so I remember that night because Tanya said, they're trying to provide me all this stuff that I shouldn't work with you. And none of this is like even logical. None of it makes sense. Like, I'm not even working with you. You're literally just donating money with me. And like, why would I turn down a donor? Katie Parker is anti-helping victims of polygamy, clearly.
Oh no, from the screenshot that I just read, the charity reached out to Down the Rabbit Hole, wanting to see if you are dangerous, if you are an advocate like you say you are. And your work does not reflect that. Look at you, just thinking you're just creating a whole new story.
That's what I learned tonight. Because if you cared about the victims of polygamy, why would you stop someone from trying to raise money for them? Why would you go into a hate group and try to get an organization that's doing good work for victims of polygamy to stop? There's not even a relationship. Anyone can post on Instagram and link a nonprofit. And people who can't understand that the nonprofits are paid directly by Meta, and it's not me that gets the money, are fools. And if you live in a world of conspiracies and tinfoil hats, I can see where you would get confused, Katie. When Katie deleted her channel and accused me of doxing, and now I'm seeing firsthand what she was actually doing behind the scenes, it makes me physically ill. Because she was accusing me publicly. She was gaslighting her fans to say that I was doing all these things when she was the one.
No, Katie. And you need a dictionary. You gaslight everyone about your son, about your drinking, about your husband yelling at your son, about you not giving a flying fuck about your son. You know, 10 hours in that room, he was talking about the dog. Gaslight Central.
On doing those things. She was the one that was working behind the scenes. She was the one that was organizing groups. She was the one that was trying to get victims of polygamy to not get money. You know, that $100,000 went to hire a counselor for therapy for victims of polygamy. I don't know why that's a bad thing. Do you? Can anyone tell me? I'm waiting.
Oh, sorry, teacher. I didn't know that you were waiting for an answer. What was the question? Do I need to hear it? Maybe, no, that's silence. Still silence. Oh, you were waiting for
$100,000 went to hire
a while. She didn't donate a $100,000. That was the total of the whole fundraiser. Katie only donated like $1,000 or something. Oh God, Susie, when you said you blocked everyone, I was like, me? Because I accidentally blocked TK last live. I'm like, oh, what did I do? Oh, yeah, I think her subs have to be the kind of people that don't leave the platform. So they don't leave Instagram or they don't leave Facebook. Like, so they don't go beyond to use Google and search. They just believe whatever she says because they're naive. It's sad. She plays on their vulnerability. But God, can you imagine? I mean, this is tiring. This is so tiring. I mean, I feel more drained by this than having to look after my toddler nephew. Like, this is worse.
a counselor for therapy for victims of polygamy. I don't know why that's a bad thing. Do you?
You burped.
Can anyone tell me?
Did you know you burped? Katie, you burped. Can you tell me? Does
I'm waiting.
your shirt say ruins?
I also found out that there's a woman named Tabitha Jane who lives near me, and she posted in the group and told people to call CPS every 24 hours to continue to report me for CPS for abusing my son.
She would never. She's a lawyer. She would never do that. You're just making absolute bullshit up. I love Tabitha because without Tabitha, we wouldn't know that you have the oldest lawyer who has no idea about social media, so out of the loop that Jennifer would believe that you are a journalist, that you are an advocate, that you are an influencer. You've got a fast-growing channel that's just stuck on 330 or 360. Everyone else that you have been threatened by, let's say, like Emily D. Baker, almost at 1 million, Katie, almost at 1 million. She might even be, I haven't checked. But you know what? Yeah, didn't get there by monotone, didn't get there by doing this, having a tanty, thinking everyone looks up to you and is scared of you. I'm not scared of you, Katie. I'm not intimidated. I'm not shaking in my boots, you know? But there is a pebble in my shoe and it has your name on it. Is it one of your marbles? Maybe.
I was also told that Tabitha Jane attends every one of my hearings. She is effectively a local here that's stalking me for this group. And I'm convinced that Rabbit Hole was working with people inside of the cult of these groups, because I can't for the life of me think.
Goose with the correct info. Apparently, Tabitha was telling a story about how she had to keep calling CPS every 24 hours when she was trying to save a child, like a different story. And of course, Miss I can't comprehend anything and make everything about me. Oh, look at your sad face, Katie. Look at you. Are you really in control? Are you really in control?
Of how anyone would want to prevent holding out help from receiving money. I've donated $3,500 of my own cash in the last 2 months to holding out help.
Why couldn't you do it all in one go? Or you didn't have the money because you're paying your lawyers? You made it seem like you paid $100,000, but now it's only $3,500. That seems a bit low from all the polygamy videos that you've made detailing the abuse going over and over and over, you know, not making any donations. The whole video, all the profit could go towards them. Nope.
what has she done? They're doing a huge fundraiser in March and a silent auction, and I'm going to donate to that. I can't attend. They've invited me to attend, and I can't attend because I'm not in Draper, Utah. She turns like a criticism of a video she made into an entire like movement against me and accused me of doing things behind the scenes and said I was the crazy one when she was the one that was doing these things. I've never been in a group about her. I don't know anything about her life. I don't know where she lives. I don't know her husband's name. I don't know her kids' names. I don't know anything. She told Cheshire in a comment that if I had a legal case to sue her, I would have one. She admitted that.
I don't think that's what you like. That doesn't mean what you think it means. So, Katie, do you have a legal case against Rabbit Hole? No, you are all words. All you've got is her full name now, which you are just happily using over and over again because, hey, you didn't dox her and you don't have any respect for anyone. You don't care. Keep wiping your dry lips. Look at you. All eyes on you. You're the only one in a current lawsuit, Katie. Do you hear me? You're the only one in a current lawsuit. This will jeopardize your lawsuit. This is going to help 7M. This is not going to help you because this is what you do. I don't even want to say the words. Control the narrative. This is what you do. It's the same thing over and over again. If we went back to 2021 and just interchanged the names with Nat and Little Miss Noble, it would be the same thing.
In a video, she said, how did Katie become a millionaire? Oh, by faking her son's illness. When I was not.
When you were not what? I'll link this video down below. Katie Joy gets a property tax exemption as long as there's a dependent with a disability. The feeding tube classifies as a permanent disability. And so, yeah, they get an exemption on their property tax every year. And I pulled up their property taxes, but it's not that much, but it's like $72 or something. But I mean, still. Plus, when I started reading her articles, I started to notice that she went and found out the benefits before and then started matching those disorders to her son. Like, it's really sick because when you think about it, she's an alcoholic, still being an active alcoholic when he was young. Both of them were. But like, he's medically fragile when he's born premature. Premature children need extra care. They're extra clingy. They're extra needy. They need a caregiver who is patient. Do alcoholics have patience? We've seen the way that Toad acts when he can't get his son to go to sleep. We've seen them shove an iPad in his face. I mean, Katie shared dozens of photos. Since he's been able to sit up and hold the phone himself, he's been screen-fed. Katie has admitted to over-medicating her son. She takes trazodone every night to try and get to sleep. She calls it her happiness, and she gives her medication to her son. He takes more than her. I'll link this below. It came out of Katie's mouth. Her son takes more trazodone than she does, and she's an addict, and she takes trazodone to feel that happiness. Why would you admit to it? That is. And then she admitted in also the articles about neglecting her son for the first 5 years. 4.5 years he had hydrocephalus untreated. cerebral fluid building up. But Katie didn't see him. Like, he was at daycare Monday to Friday all day. And then Katie would bring him home and put him straight to bed because daycare were feeding him. She didn't bother like teaching him any songs, colors, counting. There's never any children's songs played in their house. It's just always Kenneth Dyrus. These are two teenagers with the mindset worse than anything you've seen on 16 and Pregnant. Like, these two are just, they took the easy way out. Katie didn't have the patience to feed her child. I was born premature. And yeah, the oral motor skills is a huge deal. I couldn't control my tongue. I couldn't swallow, but with therapy and consistency and keeping up with it, you can overcome it. I have gastroparesis. That's what V has. It stems from spina bifida, which is what I have. Katie relied on everyone not knowing what her son had, so she could do whatever she wanted and pretend that she knows everything. There's videos where she is advocating for her son, talking about his digestive disorder, but she can't even give it her 100% attention. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And I know exactly what she's saying is wrong. There's a clip, and I'll link it down below, where she talks about how people with gastroparesis can't have citric juices, apple juice, orange juice. It's just awful. You get like GERD from it, you get heartburn. It's awful. And the pain it causes is insane. So she says that in one live, and then the other live, she's filming, feeding him, tube feeding him. And she's like, oh yeah, it's orange from the orange juice. She's preparing his tube feeding meal. And she takes him off the, like, I used to be on the Nestle or formula. It's got all your vitamins in it, complex nutrient, like complete diet. Plus it was the junior, Peptamen Junior. He was a toddler, so he needed all that growing minerals and vitamins. Katie took him off that and put him on this broth, Real Foods blends. And if you go to their website, they say our food is not a complete diet. It's like snacks. And she was feeding that to her son, and it was like 3 ingredients and just salt. She didn't know what she was doing. Like 3 months after he got the feeding tube, she's on Facebook talking to tubey mums like she's an expert. We've seen that as soon as he got diagnosed with autism. She adds that to the end of their blog. Our journey with chronic illness and autism. And then she's on boards going, I'm an autism mum. No idea. No idea. Uses her son's autistic meltdowns as an excuse for why her husband yells at him. 10 hours in that room because the selfish wife, narcissistic mum will not get offline, addicted to the net, prioritized over everything. Everything is prioritized over your child, Katie, and we see it. So, yeah, I don't believe anything you say. I found the truth in my own way. I did the research that you say you research. Yeah, but you've, managed to wipe all your info from Google. Why didn't you do that for your son? Have you Googled medically fragile child, Katie? Because, oh my God, that's the most damning evidence ever. Your son is not medically fragile. He's medically complex. But you chose the most extreme. And now when you Google medically fragile child, you see all these kids that are bedridden. They can't breathe on their own. They can't eat on their own. Their parents will never hear them say their name. They never hear them tell them that they love them. Their kids aren't walking outside, playing in the pool. But amongst all the pictures of those medically fragile children is Katie's kid. Going everywhere, walking around, doing all this stuff. And I think that is the most like stab towards anyone that actually has a medically fragile child. Because you want the most extreme diagnosis. When you cause the most extreme damage, in my opinion, from what I've read, what I've put together, because he was born with a pituitary gland. Yes, he was. He was born healthy, besides being prem and having the heart issues. And then 3 months later, traumatic brain injury. That's why she still drinks. She's such a bitch.
This is blown out of proportion. You think it's blown out of proportion for Katie to be contacting sponsors, Gwendolyn Brown. She got Gwendolyn Brown riled up about me. She accused me of posting things outside of Gwendolyn's paywall, but then she went ahead and posted things outside of Gwendolyn's paywall and then created this whole divide. She also accused me of...
I'm pretty sure she contacted Gwendolyn and got permission, which you didn't. Because you're sneaky like that. Because even when they block you, you would create another account and still get the info.
Of trying to get KRISTYN Brown arrested because I shared a story that Gwendolyn shared on YouTube about KRISTYN burying a fetus in her backyard. When she deleted her channel so fast, I thought, gosh, that's weird. Why are you deleting your channel so fast? You have content you could do besides me. And then I realized her whole life is invested in me. Her identity now has been engulfed in hating me.
Stroke your ego, Paulson. You think you are that important? Try again. Because she's doing something that you have never done. As bad as the threats are that you've got, your stalkers, your haters, bringing your son into it, threatening to unalive him, although, you know, it wasn't that. That was Marvin. All that. I forgot what I was going to say. No! What was I saying? God, Katie, what you've done to me.
Her whole life is invested in me.
Yes, I just needed to hear that. No, she chose to protect her family over this crap. She can bring her channel back once 7M deals with you, but she has chosen to go offline and choose her family over this shit. You have stayed put the whole time. Never once, even through the whole Nat thing, you stayed online. Even when everyone else was getting threatened by the troll party and you were sitting back laughing, right? You still didn't leave. But then the next day when people were like, why is Katie laughing? Oh, she must be behind it. The next day you get threats from yourself. Now you're part of the people that are getting threats and you're so scared. And they're threatening your son and they're making up CP and all these abuse allegations, but you remained online. You even said, they're trying to make me feel scared. The scared part would be your instinct as a mother to protect your child. That would be the scary part. The scary part would be your reputation, your business, but you don't care about anyone else except yourself. If you cared about your son and you were really legitimately getting threats about his life and you remained online poking the bear, what does that say, Katie? No logical person would stay online and poke the bear. Why can't you just move on and continue on with your content? Because this is all you've got. This feeds you. You're a fiend for online drama. If there isn't any, you'll cause it. If you're not involved, you'll become involved. If it's not your story, that will become your story. because that's how shallow you are. You're lonely. You've got no true friends, no true family, no one that you can confide in, who you can trust 100%, because you can't even trust yourself. I mean, I wouldn't trust you. Looks like you've got no control, no self-control. Looks like you don't even care how you present yourself on your business page during a lawsuit. Just reminding you, you are the one being sued. You're the one being sued, Katie. Ooh, no one else. So keep pointing your finger and attacking people. Nothing is going to happen to us. You're in for a reality check. Is that a coffee machine in the back, or is that your tumbler? I know, I'm tuning out.
Her identity now has been engulfed in hating me. And she's got CC SUAREZ that's gonna go defend her in a video and accuse me of having too close of relationships with my sources. Oh God, I'm so close with KRISTYN Decker, and she's been like a second mom to me. It's so terrible. I'm crossing boundaries with her because we're both working together to help fight the subjugation of women.
You are too close to her if you are calling her your mum, if you're crying and confiding in her. Also Amy, also Lindsay Chrisley, also Gypsy's mum, also James Charles's mum, also, you know, the list goes on. You can't just have a source without them becoming your best friend forever. And then you just spin that story. Hey, we're boy mums. We bonded because we're boy mums.
And children in polygamous cults. Sources are not just sources. When you're working towards a goal, they become your friends.
If you had studied journalism, you would be able to keep it, you know, business is business, personal is personal, and they never interchange. They never cross over. But you don't have boundaries, and you are so desperate for a friend. She's your best friend. It's not like you have any other levels of friends. Remember how you were like, well, I guess Amy was just my acquaintance and I was the one who was calling her best friend because I was just so desperate. All my life I just spent here in my drinking chair, in bed, in my drinking chair, in bed, you know? Oh, and then funeral waiting room where I'm a businesswoman on my business page doing business stuff, you know?
Katie is not rational. Are you crazy? Goodbye. Rational people do not encourage people to contact an advocacy group that helps victims of polygamy and tells them to stop.
A rational person doesn't sit on an IG live and detail CSA details of what the Duggar women went through with finger directions, motion, like acting it out. A rational person doesn't sit and relay those details with a monotone, no flinching, no emotion. The only thing she's doing is wiping away the drool, the saliva that is built up in her mouth because she's so excited over the details. Without self-awareness, Katie, you can't see what we see. You think that your body language doesn't contradict you? If your body language wasn't contradicting you, I wouldn't be here. I love you, body language. Your body language, you've got no control. Like, you aren't even aware of how your face responds to stuff, not even aware of what saliva dripping out the corner of your mouth means when you're talking about CSA details. You're not aware because you haven't lived out there in the world. You've got no worldly experience. It's why, like, what were you talking about? Like, sometimes when you're talking about all the cult stuff, it's like, how are you just, like, this is new information to you. And it's astounding. Oh, yeah, remember when she found out about enemas? thought that that was such a cult thing.
CC Suarez, if you co-sign this behavior, if you co-sign someone contacting an advocacy group and saying, don't work with this person who's donated $3,500 for you when we don't even work together. She's working with actual pro-polygamists that want to keep polygamists able to keep women in a trafficking, abusive dynamic. Polygamy is and continues to be a crime against humanity. I don't care what Sister Wives made you think it was. I don't care what Seeking Sister Wives makes you think it is. There is no greater violence against women than a violent trafficking organization that believes a woman becoming a wife will help you get an increase in heaven, and they become chattel and they are currency.
Your dumbness comes from how you are just so narrow-minded, thinking that this only happens in polygamy and only happens in Western society. You are just so round and round the same details. I was looking up, like, because I wanted to know, like, why is polygamy allowed in Utah? And then I think I went over this before, but when Cody Brown, like, sued the city for, like, I can't even remember, anyway, they ended up decriminalizing polygamy in 2020, but like bigamy is still illegal. And I think Katie gets really confused between bigamy and polygamy. Like multiple marriages is illegal, but then having one wife through marriage and then multiple like girlfriends, but you know, and it's still bad. But I mean, it's not a criminal offense where they are. Anyway, Katie, I guess we're just going to press play and get through this.
Somehow anti-polygamy didn't turn into anti-Katie didn't turn into anti-Katie. It turned into anti-Katie, anti-anything I talk about. If I think Gypsy Rose is doing a good job, let's support the guy that viciously murdered Dee Dee and make him the victim. If I support
a word of advice, but who you are, what you believe in, and your values and all that, that's still you. And there's no anti-KJ more than you. You hate yourself so much that this is what you've created. Haters. When you're the biggest hater. Look at you. Look how sad your life is. This is you. This is what you find fun. This is what you think is legitimate business practice. No brain alarm going off. You might want to get offline. You're in a lawsuit.
victims of polygamy, let's support the abusers. Let's support the men that are trafficking the women. If I say that Josh Duggar is a pedophile, they'll say, let's protect Josh Duggar. Or they'll accuse me of reporting on the child sexual abuse by teaching my followers how to sexually abuse their children.
Oh God, when you brought those two fingers up, I was scared you were going to demonstrate again. Katie, the fact that you can't even present it as it is, that even in your explanation of who the anti-KJ community is, it's all lies. If you're so sure of your information and how you're got the one up on everyone, then tell it how it is. Because that sounds absolutely ridiculous that you would say Josh Duggar's a pedophile and then we would say, nah, he isn't because we don't like you. Do you hear yourself? Play this back. You should have deleted this.
Daughters of the Cult is what you're talking about. And I actually interviewed Anna and Celia. Check out my channel if you want to see Anna and Celia. Wonderful, wonderful women. I've also learned that there's going to be a man from the AUB that has an autobiography coming out, a son of one of the prophets. And I am so excited.
That's sick. That is sick. You getting excited that you're going to be talking to a man. How will you stay focused? Wow, I bet you'll be all giddy. It's like Matt Bayer all over again. All eyes on you because your husband doesn't even give you 100% attention. He's tuned out by the time, you know, you've said, hi, time. Sorry. Oh, are we there yet? Okay, I don't want to press play.
He's currently working on the book. I've been getting sneak peeks of it from his daughter, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear his story, because not all men in polygamy are bad people. And he actually left his wives because he was tired of the abuse. And he has so much to say about the horrific abuse that happens in the AUB. A man from the AUB.
That's what I mean. This is how close-minded you are. You are surprised that there's a man because you hate on men, the patriarchy. The men are the bad and the women are the good. Women are always victims. Men can't be victims. No, no, no. Right? Johnny Depp couldn't be a victim, could he, Katie? God. Oh, that poor guy. Let's hope he Googles you. Okay? Let's hope he Googles you. Let's hope that this is just in your imagination.
A man speaking out against the AUB and the patriarchy and the abuse. I cannot wait. One day I hope that his daughter will be comfortable speaking publicly, because she has become such a sweetheart in my life and such a great source for knowledge and information about this culture. And yeah, I don't want anyone to feel invisible. And when you try to silence people, when you try to prevent advocacy groups from having resources and money to help victims because you are mad at me, you're hurting victims. Or maybe you don't care about the victims because you don't believe that there are victims in polygamy. Maybe you just want to be Cody Brown's fifth wife. Maybe that's just what your goal is.
Are you jealous, Katie? Are you jealous? Because we know your obsession with Cody's crutch, with his perm. You just love him. That's all you think about nonstop. My husband used to have curly, bouncy hair like that once. Oh, Katie. Oh, yeah. She's jealous. She's jealous of anyone who's got a personality, who can talk about the Duggars without chasing their tail. Just anyone with insight that is beyond Katie's brain. Because it's small-minded gossip. There's even your work, Katie. You don't help survivors. You take their stories and exaggerate. You turn it into something. You steal it. You steal their stories. You steal their voice. You don't offer any help, no support links ever under your videos or anything. The damage that you do through triggering words by not putting triggers. You don't put trigger warnings on anything. You just go straight from talking about making cheddar cheese sandwiches straight into CSA details. Because if you cared about the victims, you would use a trigger warning, because it might not affect you, but it affects actual victims, Katie. And if you learnt how to, why don't you go and get a degree in social work? Because you're not trained. You're causing way more harm than good. You don't ask the right questions. You don't use the right words. You use trauma words because you're focused on the abuse details. You don't use words that you learn in therapy. You don't use positive words. You love to re-traumatize victims by detailing over and over and over again. You had no idea what you were doing to the Duggar women if they ever came across your Instagram, constantly posting Josh's photo over and over and over, because you're not aware that, like, you don't, it's just you, it's a play.
"42 videos about me, plus talking about me in most of your videos, plus being involved in 3 or 4 hate groups on me, streaming on multiple channels about me, organizing and trying to turn creators against me." That's Katie from Down the Rabbit Hole. So Cece, if you want to make someone the victim, it's not her. If you want to go down that road and support that, I'll make sure that my followers let you know how they feel about it. I don't want anyone to send her hate, but if someone's going to like actually defend that, I think people have a right to know who's defending that. Like, I feel like I've allowed people to turn this, my silence has been used as like this carte blanche for people to just walk all over me. And like,
oh my God, I'm going to share a bunch of videos to prove that you have not stayed silent. Silence is not even one of your traits, your character traits. You need to tell the world. Your gratification relies on the response of others. That's why you overshare, because you're so lonely, so insecure, so desperate for someone to care about you. Finally, KRISTYN Decker does. But does she really, or is she just telling you what you want to hear?
I don't like to encourage harassment, but if you see someone defending abusers, I would never want them to like attack her channel, report her videos or anything like that. But if she were going to put up a video like that, I would say, if you don't agree with this, you can leave a comment on that. You can tell her how you feel.
Why can't you just focus on your own channel? Do your own stuff. Why do you think that you have control over anyone? That you threatening CC is going to make her stop? That you threatening anyone else, they're going to, oh my God, Katie's serious. Oh, I'm going to stop everything, delete everything. Our videos have purpose. You contradict yourself. You don't have self-awareness. You share child abuse. You share you abusing your child. You share child neglect. You share you neglecting your son. You the screen feeding. You're like, oh, he's not eating anything tonight, but he's eating because he's feeding his addiction because you got him on the phone. Because you only interact with your son when there's a phone filming. Smile, say hi to Susan. Because you first got on YouTube, you wanted to be a family vlogger. Trifecta and fur. Exploiting your son, because that's the only story you have. That's the only thing that makes you interesting, is that you've got a medically complex child, but you are his biggest disability. If your child was as sick as what he is, why is he in a bedroom with kitty litter and locked up cats at night? Kitty litter, just because you've lost your sense of smell from years of substance abuse doesn't mean your son has. Yes, 6 animals locked inside their house because the neighbours have complained from the dogs barking. 2 rescued dogs with anxiety. More trazodone, maybe. Why else would she adopt dogs with anxiety and then neglect their needs, keep them locked up inside 24/7 with 4 cats, 2 hunting dogs? That's in their genes to hunt small animals. And the cats have been attacked multiple times. Why does she do that? Like, that they're all props in her. It's the reason she got married. She's not, I mean, she has a celibate marriage. She's admitted. She doesn't have sex with her husband. Her husband can't even get it up. She's admitted to that. She shared that like a rational logic person would. Not. Because she's got no control and she's got no self-awareness. And she's just so eager to share, 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 share. Keep sharing, Polson. I'm sure that's what 7M is saying. Keep sharing. Has Jennifer been on the line? Has she been on the email? Has she gone, Polson? No more IG lives today, Polson. Or do you just not listen to her? You pay her, but you don't listen to her. Yeah. Okay. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Because why are you going after me?
Because you are a contradiction, because you lie on people, because you harm victims, because you harm your son, because you are an alcoholic, because you don't know what you're doing, because you think that you have the world fooled, but you don't, because you're a mess, because you're a liar, because you are drawn to CSA details, because you trigger people, because you harm your audience, because you don't care, because you cross boundaries, because you're not an advocate, you haven't been trained, you have no qualifications, you're not a journalist, you haven't been trained, you've got no qualifications. All you've got is a Spanish degree, which you probably didn't even pass. Your dad probably just made you pass because you're that insecure about being told, you know, you've got no skills. The only jobs you had before this were 2 call center jobs, one of them being a scam, university, selling fake psych degrees. These people think they're going to be accredited at the end, and it's not even. You were happy. Then you had loans as well. Couldn't even follow a script, too drunk. Katie gets fired, leaves her job, February 2016. So, you know, her son's born 2012. Up until February 2016, he was going to daycare. Then Katie becomes his full-time carer. Then 4 months later, 4 months of being a full-time carer to her son, she can't feed him. He won't eat for her. She's feeding him choking food. She shared the pictures. I've got them. I shared them as well. To show the world what this woman was feeding her child. Choking food. Once he choked, he was scared of eating then. Perfect. She wanted that feeding tube and she got it. By making her son failure to thrive. In 4 months. It's absolutely disgusting. 4 months. Because she doesn't have the patience, because her priority is her vices, because she's in active addiction. Her son has never been her priority. She never wanted to have children. She made a bet with her husband. I mean, her husband wouldn't even let them date if she was a Catholic. He sets the rules. But he shouldn't have even had a child either, because his alcoholic sperm causes neurological damage too. But Katie looks exactly like her son, looks exactly like her. Flat top lip, small beady eyes, prone to addiction. Look at this. What am I saying? Well, the cycle of alcoholism never stopped with Katie. She's a carbon copy of her mum. Her mum, I believe, was a narcissist and also an alcoholic. Katie spoke about this. Her mum used to drink to self-medicate for her anxiety. I don't believe Katie stopped drinking when she got pregnant. I know it's a big call, but if you go down and read those articles, you'll see the evilness, you'll see the detachment, the no connection, the delusion. Oh, Nini, I was just reading your comment. Nini says, I used to think her attorneys were stressed out by her behavior. Michael Brown was. But they bill her for every little thing they do. KJ makes them a lot of money. Right? Did you see that post she did? I think it was on her stories, and she's like, I love my attorneys. I mean, we would be best friends if I wasn't paying them so much. And she doesn't understand that, like, they're paid to, like, I mean, they're not prosecuting her. They're, like, going to get all the details, be on her side, be friendly, not defensive, get everything out. But why Jennifer? Poor Jennifer. She's so naive. Naive.
Because my channel's bigger? Because I'm trying to help victims of polygamy? Because, I mean, this woman is going after MLM women. You know, I learned really early on that you can hate MLMs all day long, but they're still legal. So you're honestly just going after and attacking women that have been sucked into a system and become victims of a system. And instead of actually being empathetic to them, you're mocking, ridiculing, and harassing them and making these women's lives worse because
that's what you're doing with reporting on polygamy. The advocates that work hard to work with survivors, they wrote you a letter. Like I said, it's linked below. Bunch of links, and I'll put them in the pinned comment as well. How much damage you have done to the trust that they have spent years building up. You have shared safe houses, the pictures of them, where to go to get there. You think that detailing the abuse is helping the victims? You think that when they share their story with you that they're happy when they watch you get on an IG live and full go to town with their story? You think because they share it with you that you have the right? You haven't been trained. That's why you are causing way more harm. You're just not even aware. Like, you wish you could have an MLM channel. That's what you are obsessed with, Pathios.
early on that you can hate MLMs all day long, but they're still legal. So you're honest.
And that's what I wanted to say. Like, you can hate polygamists all you want in Utah, you know, but it's decriminalized since 2020. So it's not illegal. Do they live in Utah? Have they moved back there? The Browns? I don't know. Look, I'm not even paying attention to where they are. She's just so closed-minded.
Just going after and attacking women that have been sucked into a system and become victims of a system. And instead of actually being empathetic to them, you're mocking, ridiculing, and harassing them and making these women's lives worse because you think they're exploiting people, yet the government says that these companies are not illegal. So really, what's your point? What's your point in your advocacy? At least with polygamy, it's illegal.
Where? Oh, I guess everywhere outside of Utah? Is that what you're talking about?
MLMs are legal. You cannot like their methods. You cannot want to buy their products. You can say, yes, a lot of people are exploited through these. Yes, people don't make money. Sure. But beyond that, like what do you get out of going after the boss babes? Did you want to be a boss babe and you weren't successful, so you're angry at the boss babes? Despite all the attempts to try to end these MLMs, they don't go away because their structures are not according to the law, they are not illegal. Polygamy is illegal. It is a felony. Why are you attacking something that's not illegal? Why don't you call it like all the banks? They're all a monopoly. Half of Wall Street's a monopoly. Hell, our government's a monopoly.
Okay, Katie. Listening ears on. Oh, where did it go? Oh. Utah Senate votes to decriminalize polygamy among consenting adults. Oh, I came to the right page. Ads galore. Salt Lake City. So this is February 19, 2020. Salt Lake City. Utah State Senate voted unanimously, you know what I'm trying to say, on Tuesday effectively to decriminalize polygamy among consenting adults, reducing penalties for a practice with deep religious roots. Reducing penalties for a practice with deep religious roots in the predominantly Mormon state. Yeah, so it falls under the religious practice of religions. The bill, which would treat the offence of plural marriages as a simple infraction on par with parking. What? Oh, yeah, that's the bigamy one that didn't go through. So, Katie, under current law, polygamy, typically involving a man who cohabitates with and purports to marry more than one wife. Well, no, because you're just contradicting your own little thing here. Is classified as a third-degree felony, punishable up to 5 years in prison. Oh, no. Oh, okay. And then if the bill goes through, I'm confused. This is why I didn't get into politics. Punishment for plural marriages would be limited. I'll link this down below, but I'm pretty sure if you just Google it. Katie, how can you be so sure? Like, this is your area of expertise. You could at least say it's illegal in most of the country, except
they're all
for
a monopoly. Half of Wall Street's a monopoly. Hell, our government's a monopoly.
Oh my God, is she this dumb? Are you this dumb? Are you this dumb? That's why it's, oh my God, she's really out of her league.
I don't even know. I don't know who Sean. All I'm saying is Tabitha Jane, stop showing up at my court cases. If I figure out like where you are locally and I know that you're following me, I will take out a stalking and harassment order.
For attending an open meeting. She's allowed to be there. She's a lawyer. She's also covering the case. Are you real? Like, oh my God. So if a reporter for the local Minnesota News or whatever rocked up, you'd also have an issue? How many people? Let's just get, rent a crowd. Yes, and all sit on the 7M side. Is that how it works? I don't know, but otherwise we could just send a bunch of like cutouts, like from Home Alone, and have them all just sitting there. So even though they're not real people, it's more than what you've got on your side. Are you scared, Katie? Are you scared? You can't control people for stalking and harassing by, you don't even know the law. You talk about business interference, but you did that to 7M. You're talking all these big words, but you don't understand your own actions. And Katie, here's your favorite word, and your consequences. Do you think Katie's done nothing wrong? Well, if you'd done nothing wrong, you wouldn't be getting sued. Tabitha Jane, she's not being sued. Rabbit hole, she's not being sued. Not for defamation, not for interference with business, not for loss of income, not for emotional distress. No, that's you. That's what your channel is. That's what you do. So when people are going, oh, you're an advocate for polygamous survivors, they can look at your channel and just go, oh no, she's obsessed with the Duggars and sister wives, and what substantial information is in those videos. You are quantity over quality. 3 videos a day, 5 days a week. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Now that I know that you're willingly working and conspiring with people and letting them know about what I'm doing. It's way different for you to be interested in me as a public figure than it is for you to be in a coordinated stalking effort to try to harass me. You're not showing up at my court hearings because you care about me. You're doing this to intimidate me. And my lawyer at one of the meetings noticed that there was someone there and they thought it was really strange.
Why? She could be there for 7M. She doesn't have to be there because she cares about you. No one cares about you. Jennifer doesn't even care about you. She cares about the money that you can bring her. You are not in control here. No one is scared of you, Katie. You don't leave your room, this office, this funeral waiting room. You sit there and all you are is, what? Poking the bear. That's all you got. That's all you got. And a sad, sad life. Sadder than Daria's sad life. And that's sad because she had brains and you don't. And you can't keep your fingers away from your mouth because you are just spilling absolute bullshit. Maybe if you were aware of how your body reacts to what comes out of your mouth, you would be able to look deep inside yourself and go, I better shut up because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just loose and spewing shit. I'm in a lawsuit.
Because no one else was there. Like, our government's a monopoly. Like, there's a million things that are monopolies. Like, Facebook's a monopoly. Why aren't you mad at Facebook, Cece? Call up Mark Zuckerberg and be like, dude, why are you such a boss bitch? You're going after low-hanging fruit. It's just so stupid. And you know what she does? She sends these emails and she sounds so idiotic because she goes, kindly and assertively, can you explain why you are so close and you cross boundaries with your sources? Also, can you please answer the speculation that you doxed Rabbit and are harassing Renelle Smith? And I'm trying to take her seriously. And then she says, kindly and assertively.
Do you think anyone would take you serious with that performance? You are rattled. You are rattled something chronic. And all you've got is words. All you've got is threats. All you've got is, I'm Katie Joy and I'm going to send my lawyers after you. Can you afford it, Katie? Do you think your lawyers will care when you've provoked it? You know, you are part of the picture. You're the one, like, serving it up. No need to. But you need this. You need to feed off it. You need a distraction because your life is going down the drain and it's slowly circling that drain, you know, to give you a little bit of hope that you might win. But we all know you're going down. You're going down, Katie Joy, down the drain. Your channel's going down as well. Have you ever thought, why is my channel not growing? I seem to be stuck. All I want to do is reach 400K. Not going to happen because you have to buy them, right? You have to buy your subscribers. But that's not going to happen when you've got to pay your lawyers. You've got to weigh up what's important. Botox is, isn't it? That's where you went first.
Cece, if you're going to go down this rabbit hole, you're going to look like a fool because you are defending people that have restraining orders against them.
Katie Joy, you look like a fool because you are defending Sharla, who was so willing to throw you under the bus, going to creator on DMing them on Twitter. Do you have any information on Katie? She was ready for, you know, that crap, you know? So you've only got one half of the story. And you think that you aren't a fool? Look at you, drunk, sloshy, messy. Your presentation doesn't say this is a business that's trustworthy, that holds up the highest standards, that's a journalist that deserves privilege in the Minnesota court because your information is so precious, but you share it all. You need to share it all because you live off other people's reaction. Here's my reaction, Katie. You don't scare me. You are as annoying as a pebble in my shoe, and that's it, you know? Maybe a prickle, double G, but yeah, nothing. That's all you got. You sting no one. You sting yourself. Yeah, you're a scorpion on fire, but you're only stinging yourself. Do scorpions go on fire? I don't know. They should. Yours do, Katie. Yours do.
You are defending people that are acting like criminals. it kind of goes against your whole platform. You're defending people that are basically your boss babes. I have to go. I'm very tired. I'm very frustrated. I'm very exhausted.
You're very drunk.
People say I act different on my Instagram and on my YouTube. No, I don't.
Burpees. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Because would you post this on your YouTube? Would you be... No, look, let's not even do question time. Look at you, Katie. You're an idiot and a fool and a loser. Insecure and 4 years away from 4 years away from being 40, and you don't even act like a mature person at all. Are you still going to be like this when you reach 50?
I just literally on YouTube, I just put my videos out. I don't use YouTube as a live platform. I never have, and I haven't in like 4 years, and I'm not going to go back to being live on YouTube. Nothing good happens when you go live on YouTube. And if I do go live, it is only ever very briefly.
Up until 21. So from 2019 to 2021, when she was in the Tati lawsuit, Katie used to go live 3 times a day. Like in the worst possible hours as well, expecting Jessie Bear, her mod, to be there when she goes live at 5 p.m. Jessie Bear's got kids, doesn't she? But she used to do 3 times a day. Like ridiculous.
But lives on YouTube, it's always a mess. It never works. On Instagram, I can just share my piece and be done with it. But if you are going to post this, I'm going to copyright claim you because I'm going to post this on my Instagram. So Llama Girl, if you're going to post this on Twitter, I'm going to DCMA every single one of the videos you have of me on your Twitter. Your Twitter account could go down tonight.
You talk big words, but you don't even look into policies. Are you aware that reporting Ronel's GoFundMe went against GoFundMe policy? So I can show GoFundMe your story of you telling all your viewers to go report this GoFundMe for fraud. And then I can also attach the policy and show GoFundMe. You could be in trouble, Katie, for reporting something because you have deemed it a scam, because you are following rumors, because you are threatened. You don't get to control other people's lives. We can talk about you for as long as we want. All day, all night. And guess what? You can't copyright. Screen recording, never, Maybe you should get TLC to copyright all your Duggar videos. You just basically play the whole episode. Oh, you can't do that anymore, can you? No. You are a walking contradiction. No, not even walking, a sitting contradiction. You sit in your own shit all day. That's what happens with alcoholics. You lose control of your bowel and your mouth.
I'm warning you now. You can remove all of my Instagram live videos from your Twitter account, or I will be filing a DCMA takedown request for every single one of your videos.
Why do you care? Why do you want to silence Llama so much? Are you threatened, Katie? You are so insecure. All you've got is this big talk in your little, little shoes. No one is scared of you. No one is intimidated. Like you're a barking dog. We can tune you out. You aren't of any, you don't have any importance. No higher standing in the community. You preach that you're an advocate, but that's just a label. You've got no qualifications. Nothing you do is good. You cause way more harm than good. And you have caused way more harm for yourself here. This is not going to be good for you. So I can't wait for Tabitha's next write-up when the court. Hope she zooms right in on you, shaking. Going into withdrawal because you didn't have your vodka that day, your sippy cup. Did they not let it in? Probably couldn't get in through the metal detector. Look at how, this is actions of an insecure person, someone that is scared. Why isn't she scared of what 7M is going to reveal? Maybe you are, and you're projecting onto others. Look at your face. You're not very confident. Look at your face, Katie. Oh, it's pitiful. It's really pitiful. Do you want some Kleenex? Sorry, I was just asking. I was being a friend. Don't look at me like that. You look like you needed to wipe your nose.
You do.
Can we get one more brush down?
Do not have my permission to share them. You can share clips, but you cannot share my whole lives. Good night, everyone.
And little red, don't you dare share any of my videos on YouTube. I'll take them all down. You've never taken anything down. I don't think you'd have that effort in you, that energy. Oh, you just get your trolls to do it. Fly, my precious monkeys, fly. Let's just, are you going to do a peace sign? Oh, no. I fell for that. I totally fell for that. Oh, no, this was the first one. Like, she changed tops in between because she wants us to think it's 2 different days. But now, oh, God. What's happened? Like, the other night, I paused it in one of my lives and she didn't have lipstick on. And, like, there was this huge line. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've got what I can't. I'm going to go to chat because, like, there must be infection down here as well. Oh, look at your cheek. That triangle. You know, when it goes, or has she highlighted it? Have you highlighted your soup strainer? You were very fingery around the mouth, weren't you? Just come on, let me get, yeah, that looks like. Try again, Paulson. This is family photos. You'll want to remember this for the rest of your life. I'm trying to get it. The cheek. Can you see that? It's like so swollen all around there, even there. Or is it because she's highlighted it? Has she, like, she's put her blush there and then she's highlighted? Like, she's even highlighted under her brow bone. I can't with your stupidity. Every day you reach for the makeup to reapply bacteria back onto your face. What happened? Like, how? These lives were only like 3 hours apart or 4 hours. Like, she really went, she must have got off this live and just hit the terps to end up looking like this 4 hours later with more to say.
It's very late. This is like what I look like after like putting myself.
So did you lay in the bed with your staph infection pushed right up against his face? Sorry, I just want the scary picture. Yeah, that one. Oh, God. So who's intimidated? Hands up if you are shaken in your boots. Anyone? Anyone feel like we should just all get off? We should all just, we should all get off. We'll just all get off the internet and leave Katie be. She controls us. She tells us what to do. She's our dictator. What Katie says goes. I would never go against your word, Katie. You know? You know?
It's very late.
It is.
This is.
It is so late. Sorry, I just want to go back to just shoveled. I'm having fun. The first 2 seconds, this was the best. Guys, let me live. Let me live. I made it through that. We didn't have to do 2 parts. I went the whole 2 yards. No. let me live. Let me have my... This reminds me of when she took her hair out, like the last, that September 23 live, where she took her ponytail out and like the cowardly
It's
lion.
very late. This is
what I look
what
like.
I look like.
Oh my God, we were in tune. Chin chin forever. No. I'm being mean and crude. Guys, let me just say hello to you guys in the chat. Please take over. Why I stare at the screen and yeah, my brain's gone to mush. Like, Katie, you didn't, like, did you pat yourself on the back? Do you think you did well? Did you finish these lives and go, yep, I did good? Or did you go vomit? Oh, God. I mean, we have such a quiet life compared to Katie. She can't stop. Like, when she said, I'm back, I didn't know she'd be back every day. We don't want to hear your voice. And Katie, you're saying the same thing. Like, you haven't got any more information. Oh, yeah, Autistic Shield. She's always on something. She's obviously drunk and over-medicating herself on Adderall. And when you've been up for days feeding off, like, the drama would also be making her high peak. But yeah, I think, like, the more loose that she is, it's definitely like the infection affecting her. Because this is not just normal drunk Katie, although it is, but you know, it's Mercer Katie. She's no longer, oh, you're not Mrs. Polson. Oh no, Miss Polson. You could be Mercer Polson. That is a marriage made in heaven. That's a marriage made in this funeral waiting room. Did you paint your walls yet? This is a good angle. Are you in the same room? You flipped it, didn't you? I don't think she ever will. Another truth. Another truth says, I just want her to work on her inner self. Like, narcissists are just so unaware of because I'm an empath and I'm too aware, and then I live life by emotions and logic as well. Like, but my emotions are what lead me through life. Like, I read energy and all that. And then, yeah, Katie, the narcissist, got that zero emotional intelligence, completely switched off, no connection to anyone. Like the basement videos that I made where she's just going through this photo album and tearing out photos because she can't remember the people, because like she's got no memories, no attachment, no, like when you look back at in your photo album, that's your memories, your precious memories. And then Katie's like, what do you guys do with old photos? Keep them. She's like, I got to throw them out. I don't know any of these people. And then every picture with a guy, she'd been with them, but no women. Yeah, how come you didn't get all giddy over, the daughters of the cult? Only men of the cult. No, sons of the cult. God, and she just goes so giddy over any male other than her husband. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But no, that's why she's got multiple prescriptions as well. I think that's why she's made her son get it. But yeah, no, she probably is. And she's probably even just on the hard drugs. There's a reason she went and got that Adderall, because she needs uppers. It's sad. Well, no, is it? It's sad for everyone that you're going after. And it's sad that you think that you have some kind of control, that you are right in what you're doing. And it's also sad that you think that this is a good look for your business. This is your business practices. This is what you do. You go after people and you cause shit. 7M are going to see all this. Also, I wonder if KRISTYN Decker watched this. Wonder if she's asked you if you have any qualifications. Are you going to cause any further harm to survivors of polygamy? She might be your mum. Now that you know your real mum has dementia, you can make up a new mum, move on. I thought your dad was the bad one. Your mum like copped it, but you just cut her off because she doesn't remember you anyway. You are such an awful person. Cold, disconnected, and so willing to use your son. Don't talk about my son. Well, stop sharing him. Stop sharing information. His story is all you've got, because without your son's story, what have you got, Katie? Nothing. Just words. Oh, guys, thanks so much for... Yes, I just said this, another truth. We are on the same page. We've been researching the same papers. But yeah, I read this too. Another truth says, research indicates that alcoholism makes MRSA worse. Oh, sorry, MRSA, because I learned that it's MRSA. Alcoholism makes MRSA worse and more difficult to fight off, and it does spread on an alarming rate into certain areas of the body because of the alcohol. Yep. And the lack of hygiene and the neglect, how the infection is not her priority. Her addiction is always going to be her priority. Like her infection is not even a priority. She's not worried about her son being infected. They share a bed. She's not worried about the dogs catching this. She's not worried about giving it to her husband. She's just completely unaware of the danger. But then all she's worried about is this online drama. So really, Katie, if you go look in the mirror, prepare to come on and look well, we wouldn't have to call you a drunk. Drunks are bad. Drunks are bad. I used to love alcohol. Well, I'm Australian. Beer is like our tap water. But yeah, I gave up alcohol. What year was it? August 2021. And I'm still going strong without it, just because, yeah, and then I gave up nicotine, and then I gave up coffee, gave up all my buffers so I could feel life for what it is. Because once you've overcome drug addiction and then survived with your mind, being sober is a trip because it's so fucking real. Not like no wool pulled over your eyes, no imaginary world that everything's okay and fine and dandy, because it isn't, Katie. Okay, so, I think this is SD. I think this is like even more common now. Like there's a lot of people that are choosing not to drink. And I don't know if it's just more aware now because of social media. But yeah, or I'm just more aware of it because like I've taken that journey. That's the direction I'm going. You know, when you buy a car and you're like, I never noticed Camrys before, and now you see them everywhere. Guys, I'm going to depart. Oh, God, 2 hours of my life. But at least I get to hang out with the Cactus crew. Not doing this solo. Oh, my God. Katie, you've left me with no words. I think I've said enough. God, I hope you don't find me. She will. But, yeah. That's fine, Katie. That's fine. I can teach. Do you want to be? I could interview. I was thinking, Katie, do you want to come on my channel and we can talk about Gilmore Girls? Come on, let's do it. You know, you're Team Logan, the alcoholic, and I'm Team Jess, the empath, the writer, the book reader. You know, and even though Rory and Jess could be brother and sister, no, cousin and no, you know, but Tyler and Kate aren't, so that makes it no one else is. Oh, Katie, I hate that you're into Gilmore Girls, but you are into Logan, and that makes sense. The drunk. Okay, I am off, guys. Take care and enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you next week. And members, I'll catch you this weekend for a live. If you want to become a member, there's a link in the chat, or if you check out the description box, find the Cactus, there's a link. Help support the channel, get a Cactus badge. And yeah, okay, guys, like this video, share it, comment below, replay crew. I'll catch you down in the comments. And yeah, please do consider subscribing. No more lives, Katie. No more. No more. I don't cover Katie on the weekends because I need to tune out from Katie for my mental health. And if I don't stick to it, oh, I punish myself the following week. Oh, you haven't had a lick? Have you licked grass? Can't believe Katie told someone to lick grass. What an insult. Yeah, well, yeah, certain medication as well, ADHD, she should not be drinking. No wonder she's so dehydrated. Oh, Carrie, did you just come in or have you been here the whole time? I wouldn't expect any other way. Take care, guys. And yeah, Goose and TK, Cactus high five, everyone. No more lies from you, Katie. Have a good weekend, guys. See ya.